Today is the final preseason game for the Washington Commanders for the 2024 season. We made it to the end, y'all. Let's preview this game. Welcome to the Command Extra Post Game Show. Let's get to it.
How I feel? Left. What I want?
Get back slow. I love the way she rock it. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, the shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's no beginner. She's confident. I love the way she move.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Gotti here. We are the Washington Commanders live stream. And in today's live stream, we're here with yet another installment of the Command Extra pregame show as we pregame every single game for the Washington Commanders. And like I said, this is the end of the preseason as the Washington Commanders take on the New England Patriots tonight at 8 p.m. And as you can see right here on your screen, this is where I will be live streaming the game over on Twitch. Chewy IRL _ is where I will be live streaming the games on Twitch. So make sure you guys come over there to watch the game with me tonight, and we're going to have a blast. Thank you all for joining again to the Command Extra pregame show. This is every single week, every single game. Let's get to it, y'all. First things first, how are we feeling this morning? Shout out to the 20 people in here. How are we feeling this morning? This is the final preseason game. I'm excited only because this is the final preseason game, and us diehard fans, we want to see who's going to make this roster. So I know a lot of other fans may check out. They probably they have no interest in this game whatsoever. But we do as diehard fans because we want to know if a guy like Tyler Owens is making this roster, who's been killing it in camp, who's been killing in the preseason, is a guy like Martavis Bryant, who's older, but is finally given another opportunity to play in the NFL. Will he somehow make this roster? Who is going to play? Who's going to fulfill these wide receiver spots now that a Jahan Dotson, who was a big chunk of our offense, is now gone? A lot of these guys that are fighting for roster spots are still going to be out there. So granted, no, we're not putting out our starters. I'm not sure if New England's putting out their starters or not, but I know we're not. And Jaden Daniels is not playing. However, that doesn't mean that we don't have a lot to look forward to. I'm looking at that defensive side of the ball like, hey, what's up, Darian Mathis? How you doing? Like, I ain't seen nothing from you that stuck out to me all camp and all preseason long. Not to say he's not going to make this roster, but it's just like, hey, what's up with you? Johnny Newton, he's been dealing with an injury. Will he finally suit up tonight? I probably doubt it, but you never know. Right? You look at that back end, that secondary. Are we putting out our starters for the secondary? In my opinion, I think the starters need to play the whole first half, or at least the whole first quarter, if you ask me. I'm talking about that secondary. So Emmanuel Forbes, Benjamin St. Juice, Mike Samuelstill, Michael Davis, Derek Forrest, Quan Martin. Look, if you want to put out Jeremy Chin, you can. I'm just talking about the whole back end. I think the secondary is probably the only starting unit on the defense that I still want to see because they need as much reps as possible, okay? Because that secondary, in my opinion, is absolutely, if you ask me. And we have a lot of teams that we're facing this season that have a lot of great wide receivers. If you look at our roster or our schedule, every single week we're facing a team that has a dynamic wide receivers or dynamic wide receivers. And that is very scary if you ask me. Week 1, we open up the gate with Mike Evans. Week 2, we got Malik Neighbors, Jalen Hyde, and Wan'Dale Robinson. In my opinion, those guys are really good. It just sucks that Daniel Jones is their quarterback, but they're really good. First round pick Malik Neighbors. Then you got week 3. I want to say that week 3 game. Let me actually pull up the schedule right quick, but I forgot. I want to say it's the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday Night Football. Come on, man. That's Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and T. Higgins. Like, we have a lot of guys that we are going to be facing that are dogs. And this secondary, in my opinion, is scary, and it's going to need a lot of help this season if we want to survive. I expect us to fully give up a lot of points this season due to the secondary, but we're also going to come back with a lot of points ourselves. So week 1, Mike Evans. Week 2, Malik Neighbors, Jalen Hyde, and Wan'Dale Robinson. Week 3, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Week 4, Marvin Harrison Jr. Week 5, Amari Cooper. Week 6, you got Rashad Bateman and Zay Flowers. You know what I'm saying? Then when week 9, what's that? Week 8. I want to say week 7. I should say that's Carolina. You know, not necessarily anyone that scares you, but Adam Thielen, even though he's older, he still can get after you. They got Xavier Legette, the young fella that they just drafted this past draft. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the Bears, right? You got DJ Moore, you got Keenan Allen. That whole offense is loaded. Like this secondary, in my opinion, is going to need help badly. Then you got the Giants again. Then you got the Steelers, George Pickens. Eagles, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, Jahan Dotson now, right? Like we have a lot of people that we're guarding that are going to be really good this year. CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Tennessee, maybe DeAndre Hopkins is playing by that time. I'm not sure. Saints, Chris Olave. Then the Eagles again, Falcons, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and then the Cowboys to close out the season. Like I said, every single game, in my opinion, we're facing somebody that needs that can kill us. Shout out to my man Antonio Tomlin. Shout out to the Dubs family. Shout out to Chiefs 42. Shout out to the real Richie Rio. What's going on? What's up, Big Simple? How you doing? My man Antonio says, me personally, I take the battle for the QB 2 and 3 between Hartman and Driscoll. Hey, I was going to get to that one. I'm glad you brought that up. Who else believes Jeff Driscoll should be QB2? Raise your hand if you believe Jeff Driscoll should be QB2. Me, I do, because he's a baller, man. He's a baller. You look at Marcus Mariota, he's already hurt and he's older. Like, I don't think none of these guys are going to see the field because I don't plan for Jaden Daniels to be trash or to get hurt. So let's knock on some wood here. I think he should be good. But in the event that we need a backup to come into the game, any possible case, let's say Jaden Daniels, he needed to go fix his helmet. He need to swap out helmets because there's no communication with the radio in his helmet, or something happens to where Jaden Daniels needs to fix a couple spots or miss a couple games, or not games, couple snaps rather. We are going to need a capable backup too, and I don't think that is Marcus Mariota, at least not at this stage of his career, or at least not with this offense. I think Jeff Driscoll literally should be the backup too. We'll see though, because it's going to be interesting to see how much he plays. Maybe he plays the whole first half. Maybe he plays the whole first quarter, because obviously Marcus Mariota is not going to play. Then you have Sam Hartman, and then you have probably Trace McSorley coming to close it out. Jeff Driscoll, in my opinion, gives these guys the best opportunity to showcase their talent. So Luke McCaffrey, Martavis Bryant, let's see who else on that back end of the roster that's trying to fight for a roster spot. Maybe Byron Pringle, all these receivers that are out there trying to make this roster. I think Jeff Driscoll gives them the best opportunity to do so. Mariota's a bum. Jade Daniels equals bust. Are you trolling, or are you like that's how you really feel? I ain't gonna lie. Let me know. Is that really how you feel, honestly? Sam Hartman playing? I believe so. But I could check that right now for you. But guys, again, remember, make sure you guys follow the Twitch. That's where I will be at for tonight's game. Chewy IRL is where we're streaming every single game this season for the Washington Commanders. Sam, let's see what else. If you guys have any questions or comments about tonight's preseason finale, let me know down below and we can answer about it and talk about it. Again, I'm not sure if New England is playing their starters or not. I know we are not playing our starters, but as far as New England goes, I am not sure. There's nothing on Twitter talking about the game just yet, so it might be a little too early. With it being tonight on NBC at 8 p.m. Isn't that crazy how they do us, right? They make our one and only, at this point at least, we don't know if they're going to change it down the line. They make our one and only preseason. You make our one and only preseason game, or our one and only NBC game, I should say, the preseason finale on Sunday Night Football. Like, you couldn't have gave us one throughout the regular season. You got to make us wait all the way to 8 p.m. to watch this preseason finale. Like, come on, NFL. They did us so bogus, but it's cool, though. JD5 here. It's cool. He's going to turn our franchise around. He's going to help us get back on the market, right? We're going to have Sunday Night Football games, Monday Night Football games coming down the pipeline now with JD5 here. Let's see. JD5 equals baby goat. Hey, look, I'm excited for him, man. Okay, I ain't gonna call him the goat. I ain't gonna say none of this, none of that just yet. But this is the most excitement we've had around this team and this quarterback position since Robert Griffin III. So, hey, I'm all for the hype. I'm all for the excitement of one Emmanuel, not Emmanuel Forbes, godly, one Jaden Daniels. But yeah. Let's see. You're not live on Twitch. I'm confused. I'm saying for the game tonight and every game this season, I'm going to be live on Twitch. Not right now. I'm live on here. I'm live here. But for the games, the live play-by-plays, and what I used to do here on YouTube for the last 4 years, I'm now doing on Twitch for every single game. Every single game. We need a receiver like Pierre Garçon. So that, and I agree. I do like a big, even though Pierre Garçon wasn't like the biggest, he's probably like 6'1" max. I do want a big body receiver, and that's why a guy like Bryson Tremaine or a guy like Martavis Bryant needs to make this roster. Because originally, before we traded Jahan Dotson, I was saying Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, De'Ami Brown, Olamide Zaccheaus, Luke McCaffrey, and that sixth spot was between Martavis Bryant and now and Martavis Bryant and Bryson Tremaine, because we need a big body receiver. Remember, we drafted AGG a couple years ago to be that big body receiver. He didn't pan out. We had Cam Sims here, who, in my opinion, showed flashes, but he was never really used as much as we needed him to or should have been used. Cam Sims was solid, but we haven't had that big body, climb the ladder kind of receiver in a long time. And I think that's something that we need to do. So whether it's signing, bringing one of these guys on the active roster, whether it's going out in free agency to see who's still out there, whether it's trading for a Cortland Sutton, who I don't think is possible, but I've been hearing about that because I've been hearing that they could trade Cortland Sutton, but I don't think that is the case because they're starting Bo Nix. And he's their young quarterback, and why take away one of his young weapons? I mean, they took away JD5's one of his young weapons, but I don't think the Broncos are going to do that. But I have been hearing Cortland Sutton's name a little bit too. Martavis Bryant's going to be nice? Question mark. I think he give him an opportunity. Why not? We have nothing to lose. We have open spots at the wide receiver position, unless it's somebody that's absolutely killing it. Then I think you should. Why not? Like we need the help. He looks like he's back. He looks like he's level-headed. He looks hungry. He wants the opportunity to show that he still has some left in the tank. And again, it's just a 1-year deal. I don't expect Martavis Bryant to be here no more further because he is 32 years old. But I say give him an opportunity. You have the room now with the trading of Jahan Dotson. So I say give him an opportunity, man. Number 88 out there looking fly. I say give it to him. I say give him one of the spots. Let's see. Big Simple says, T. Higgins, any chance of that happening, Juan? I say Washington is in on T. Higgins in the free agent market next year. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, are they using the franchise tag on T. Higgins? I think so, right? They're using the franchise tag on him this year. I think. I could be wrong. I think they're using the franchise tag on him. So next offseason, he could get franchise tagged again, but I mean, are you going to franchise tag a receiver 2 times in 2 years in a row? Are you going to use the franchise tag on a receiver 2 years in a row when you still have to pay your other guy, Jamar Chase? Do you bring in a guy like Michael Thomas? Maybe. Yeah, they tagged him. I figured that. Do you bring in like a Michael Thomas or something like that? I understand he's out of his prime and he's way past his prime, but unless he's already signed somewhere. I just looked up the free agent market to see who still was out there. Maybe he's already signed somewhere. Let's see here. I'm looking at the wide receiver position because that is something that we need. If y'all have any more questions about tonight's game, please leave it down below in the comment section, and don't forget to follow my Twitch, ChewyIRL_. Thomas, I trash. Let's see. We need a wide receiver like Pierre Garçon. People got to work on Monday. We should have played at 12. Nah, for real. I get that. And like I'm saying, it ain't no Sunday night game that's like worth staying up for. We being completely honest with you. Like, this is preseason, but like to us diehard fans, we're staying up. But like, does Jamison Crowder make this roster? Hunter Renfro's still out there. In my opinion, Hunter Renfro would be a guy that I would go try to snag. Good route runner. And just a couple years ago, he was one of Las Vegas's best weapons. Just a couple years ago, my Juju Smith-Schuster still out there. In my opinion, Juju Smith-Schuster, when healthy, is solid. He's okay. He can get you a nice 500, 600 receiving yards. And in Kansas City, which I was surprised he didn't re-sign with Kansas City, he was pretty solid for Patrick Mahomes. But I guess that's Patrick Mahomes making anybody look good. But Juju Smith-Schuster, healthy, great blocker, has that big body frame, so he could climb the ladder, go get it, and he can play through contact. It's just all about him staying healthy. Juju Smith-Schuster, 27 years old. Do you go ahead and get him? Maybe, potentially. I could see us bringing in Juju Smith-Schuster, if not right now, maybe at some point throughout the season, because I don't think anybody is geeking to go ahead and get Juju Smith-Schuster. After that, it's really nothing else that's interesting. Randall Cobb is still out there, but nah, he's 34. Marquise Goodwin, no. Do you bring in Chase Claypool, 26 years old, who fell off the face of the earth? Just a couple, like his rookie year, he was really good, and after that, he fell off the face of the earth. I don't really have nothing to say about Chase Claypool. He is that big body receiver that we could use, but I don't think he's any good. Denzel Mims, Willie Snead still out there. Let's see. And yeah, that's really it with the wide receiver market, guys. Like that is really trash. So in all honesty, man, we might mess around and you might see the 6 or 5 receivers being Terry McLaurin, Terry McLaurin, De'Ami Brown, Luke McCaffrey, Olamide Zaccheaus, Jamison Crowder, and probably Byron Pringle or Martavis Bryant, honestly. And if you ask me, that is absolutely pathetic of a wide receiver run. Like I have no confidence in that. But like I said before, they must really genuinely believe in Jahan Dotson too, or not Jahan. Golly, my brain is fried. They must believe heavily into De'Ami Brown if they think that he's able to fulfill the wide receiver roles immediately. Like again, I understand not to continue to beat the dead horse because it's over now, but I understand trading Jahan Dotson. I really do. Like I'm not against not trading him. I'm fine with it. However, it's not like we were good at wide receiver position. Like it's not like we just had these 2-3 guys lined up ready to rock and roll. Unless you've been to training camp or unless they know something that we don't, that Luke McCaffrey is ready to rock and roll immediately. De'Ami Brown's ready to fulfill those shoes of wide receiver 2. Olamide Zaccheaus is looking really good. Like, unless it's something like that and we just don't see it during camp, I don't know if we should have pulled the trigger on it necessarily. But again, I also take this into account. Check out my video from yesterday. B. Mitch said something like he had an ego or something like some of these guys they act like they earned it or they're just supposed to be given a job. So if he was toxic to the environment, if he wasn't like being a team player, if he was just acting like he was better than everyone, then okay, I understand trading him. But if it was just solely because he didn't fit with Jaden Daniels or he didn't fit with his offense or we didn't see him, he's not really good because he couldn't get off press coverage. If it was solely because his on-field play, I feel like you could have worked through that maybe if you really want to keep him around. But again, if all those other off-the-field antics goes into play with this decision, then I'm not mad at it at all. You know what I'm saying? Big Simple says, my grandmother passed away. Her last words to me about the Washington Commanders is that JD is a good quarterback. Just protect him, and we will make it to the playoffs. I laughed it off. I really see a 10-7 season. Shout out to you, Big Simple. Sorry for your loss. Prayers to you and your family. I hope you guys can heal. And may your grandmother rest in peace. And she sounds like a lady that was wise and knew what she was talking about because she said, you know, JD is going to be a good quarterback. Just protect him. And you know, older people are wise. You know, they know it. They've seen it before. They've been around the block and they know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, Big Simple, your grandmother, she knows what she's talking about. So let's hopefully hope that Jaden Daniels and this team can come through and go 10-7 for you and your grandmother so she could be smiling down from heaven. May your grandmother rest in peace, Big Simple. And us, all 51 of us in here, are praying for you and your family. You got our support, my man. TJ Julius says we're drafting LSU wide receiver 2 Lacey. So originally, right? Originally, they asked me, where do you see us going with first round pick this upcoming draft? I said corner. This is before the Jahan Dotson trade. I said corner. I want Will Johnson. Will we be in position to get Will Johnson? I don't know. Will we be in position to get Travis Hunter? I'm not sure. But these mocks have these guys falling further than what they skill set is. So I'm like, give me a corner. I want Will Johnson. I want Travis Hunter. I want one of these corners that's coming out. And Travis Hunter probably was going to play receiver in the league if he can't play both. But that was just my thought pattern. But now after trading Jahan Dotson, I'm like, hey, what's up with this wide receiver in the first round? Because Ron Rivera has set us back, right? We shouldn't be. Dan Quinn should not be coming here having to redraft first round picks that Ron Rivera just drafted 2 years ago, 1 to 2 years ago. If we just drafted a first round corner a year ago, why are we already planning to replace him? He should be a cornerstone of this defense. He should be ready to lead this secondary and be a shutdown corner. But unfortunately for us, we chose Emmanuel Forbes instead of Christian Gonzalez. So it's a high chance that we're ready to move on from him if he performs poorly this season. Then the year prior, you select the first round wide receiver in Jahan Dotson, who bursted onto the scene his rookie year, who we thought was ready to rock and roll and be that wide receiver 2, be that Batman to Terry McLaurin's be the Robin to Terry McLaurin's Batman. And then a year later, he is traded. 2 years later, he's traded. Unfortunately, Dan Quinn is going to have to redraft first round picks that we just drafted. So with that being said, I think we may go receiver first round, unless we sign a big guy in free agency like a Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins, all these guys that we keep naming, CeeDee Lamb. That's not possible. CeeDee Lamb is going back to Dallas, more likely than not. Unless we find a guy in free agency that we're going to try to get, I would not be mad for going for a wide receiver in the first round of this year's draft. I would have to do my homework at some point to see what guys are going to be available. What are the top guys available? But it looks like the wide receiver market next year in free agency is Stephon Diggs, T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Brandon Cooks, Deontay Johnson, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Williams, Robert Woods, Marquise Brown, Darius Slayton, DeMarcus Robinson, Noah Brown, KJ Osborne, Nelson Aguilar, CeeDee Lamb, Kadarius Toney, Brandon Ayuk, like Odell Beckham. There's some hell of a names here. And a guy honestly piques my interest. I know we all on probably Stephon Diggs, Amari Cooper. No, Amari Cooper just got paid, I think. Yeah, he just got paid. So I'm not sure that they need to update this. But I know what piques my interest. Probably none of the big names. A guy like Noah Brown, I think, can come in here and be really good. It's Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin needs someone that could take the pressure off him, that could be that big body physical receiver, the opposite of him. Give me Noah Brown. Noah Brown has turned his career up in Houston. And that takes a big part of him, CJ Stroud, and Bobby Slow. He's turned his career up in Houston. And Houston has a lot of receivers that they could sacrifice losing one. And that one could be Noah Brown. And Noah Brown come here and watch them with a higher role. I think Noah Brown piques my interest. Amari Cooper will be interesting. Look, I think they just paid him money, though. So I'm not sure if it was big contract through like multiple years or if that was just a 1-year deal. Let me actually do my homework right quick. I don't know what that contract was, but I feel like they just paid him not too long ago. Or did they not? Did they not pay him? Maybe it was just an article. Oh, I think he got a raise. He got a raise, but he didn't get a contract extension. I trust the process, and I can't wait to beat the Eagles on Thursday Night Football. Yeah. Zachary says, I don't want to hear nothing about Dotson anymore. If you don't trust the process, go to another team. Well, my man, we're gonna always talk about this because this is a big player, big part of our team, and it's a big move. So until we get to next year's draft, where we're using the draft capital from this trade, you're gonna always hear about it. It doesn't mean that people aren't on board or anything like that. It's just talking about what it is. You know what I'm saying? Ron Rivera set us back like 6 years, LOL, after we had trash Bruce Allen. Nah, for real. Like, everyone called Bruce Allen the Prince of Darkness and he was trash. Not saying that he wasn't at all, right? Not saying that he wasn't at all. Again, if you guys follow me on Twitch, ChewyIRL_, that is where I will be live streaming the games throughout the season and tonight's preseason finale. So catch me over there. Bruce Allen was bad. Don't get me wrong. I totally agree with y'all with that. But like, Ron Rivera probably was worse. Like, he probably didn't bring all the off the field drama, but like on field, bro, his talent evaluation was absolutely garbage, man. It was absolutely trash. I'm not gonna lie. It says Brandon Coleman can pan out. We need a physical receiver, physical CB. Yeah, that's true. I didn't even mention left tackle as a first round pick because honestly, I agree. I think Brandon Coleman can pan out, but even if he doesn't pan out, I think we have draft capital in the second, third round where we can find a guy potentially. Unless unless left tackle just goes off the rail this season. Like, if it's absolutely trash, they can't protect Jaden Daniels' blind side, then I understand. But like, if we're talking about a guy with Brandon Coleman that we trust the process with, that's really solid, and we could see him being the left tackle with the future for the future in the next 2 years, then I don't necessarily know if we have to draft a first round left tackle next year. I do want to take a quick pause into today's show and give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the place for you if you're going to any live event or any Commanders game this season. And right now only, you can get $20 off your first purchase by punching in the promo code JuanGotti in the promo code section of the SeatGeek app. Once again, you can get $20 off your first purchase by punching in the promo code JuanGotti to get $20 off your first purchase. And let's just say you already bought your tickets. Okay, well, paying for parking is a pain in the rear end. Well, you can go ahead and suffice that pain by paying the $20 off your promo code, using your promo code $20 off Juan Gotti by getting $20 off for parking. So that same $20 that you can use for tickets, the same $20 that you can use for parking if you already paid for your tickets. Alrighty, guys, this is the final 2 minutes of the show, of the Command Extra pregame show installment. Make sure you guys ask your final questions. This is the last time that you'll be able to ask questions about this preseason until we see Week 1 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Next time the Command Extra pregame show will air. Following today's game, if you guys are interested, call into the Command Extra post-game show, as that is also another form of you guys sharing your opinions on this team, as I mentioned before. The number, let me go ahead and get it for you guys. The number is, 1 second, I will let you guys know that in a second right here. The number is 240-303-2936. Let me go ahead and put that up there so you guys can call into the Command Extra post-game show. And you have another form of contacting me, 240-303-2936. Ask your final questions, as we are going to be exiting stage left here in a few seconds to prepare for the game tonight. I do have a video dropping at 12:45 on Dan Quinn speaking on the Jahan Dotson trade, and then I have Jahan Dotson finally speaking on the Jahan Dotson trade, and then we'll close the chapter on that and move forward. But yeah, though, y'all, I appreciate y'all for stopping by this morning. This is another installment of the Command Extra pre-game show. Uptown Dre says McNicholson versus Wiley, whom wins the third down running back or third running back position? Oh, easily Uptown Dre. Give me Michael Wiley. Michael Wiley has had a astonishing preseason, and I'm excited to see what he does tonight because I think he has the opportunity to make this roster and be the third running back. He's a small 5'10" bowling ball. Like he's small, but he's built, he's built like kind of tough. Like a baby B-Rob or like a baby Nick Chubb, because Nick Chubb isn't the tallest, but he's built strong and big, and that's what Michael Wiley is. Has great hands off the backfield, can block, and he's powerful with his running. So give me Michael Wiley. But with that being said, though, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank you so all for tuning in to the Command Extra pregame show. Then this is another installment of the CEC. Command Extra pregame show, CEPC, Command Extra pregame show. Dang, I said that wrong too. That's, anyways, this is another installment of the Command Extra pregame show. Thank you all for tuning in once again. Next time we go live for the Command Extra pregame show will be week 1, the morning of the Tampa Bay versus Washington Commanders game. Come over on Twitch as I'm over there live streaming tonight's game and every game moving forward. Chewy IRL _ is where I will be live on Twitch tonight and every game moving forward. Then you can call into Command Extra post-game show 240-303-2936. And then finally, use the SeatGeek promo code JuanGotti to get $20 off your first purchase, whether that is buying the ticket or that is helping you pay for parking, because we know parking is absolutely insane. Use that promo code JuanGotti to get $20 off your first purchase. Alrighty, y'all. Y'all have a blessed one. Stay safe. Be easy out there. Love each and every one of y'all. I want to roll to 8,000 subscribers, so please help me get there as soon as possible. Peace.